to the Mississippi Coliseum here in Jackson for the state high school basketball tournament. We are getting ready for the Class 2A boys semifinal matchup between the Williams-Sullivan Yellow Jackets and the SV Marshall Tigers. Thanks for tuning in online this afternoon. I am Travis Raycheck, joined by Randy Bolden, head coach of the Meridian Wildcats. And, Coach, we have a very interesting matchup as we have county rivals meeting here as they take on each other in the state semifinals. Teams that know a little bit about each other being so close in location.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really huge matchup. The whole community is here. I think it's live, and I think they're just ready to play basketball today.
And you can look right there at the starting lineup for Marshall. Marquise Vance is the dandy dozen player that makes everything go. Tamario Wilson, Jamal Jackson, Weatherall, and Raheem Morgan for the Tigers. And again, they come into this game with a record of 29-3, taking on a Williams-Sullivan team that is 27-7. These teams have met each other before, so there's definitely some familiarity. We'll talk about that rivalry aspect coming up here. As you look at the starting lineup for Williams-Sullivan, it's Marquise March, Augusta Hollins, Marquez Simmons, Cortez Wade, and Demarius Gibson for Coach Carter in his second year leading the Yellow Jackets. And Coach Bolden, you've been at this state title level, this Coliseum atmosphere last year with your team from Meridian. Just talk about what it's like to be here in this environment.
Well, it's always an honor, and it's a huge accomplishment whenever you get a chance to come down here and you're one of the few teams that's still playing. But as a coach and as a player, you want your guys to just remain poised and be able to just come in, relax, and play the best of their ability.
So we are almost set for 2A semifinal boys action. Williams-Sullivan taking on SV Marshall. We'll have the tip-off when we return.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to misssaa.tv/SBP.
We are ready for the 2A boys state semifinal matchup here at the Mississippi Coliseum. Williams-Sullivan set to take on SV Marshall. I'm Travis Raycheck, joined by Randy Bolden here on the broadcast today. The Tigers come out in the all-white uniforms with the maroon and yellow trim. Meanwhile, Williams-Sullivan in the all-black tops, shorts, and quickly the Tigers go underneath but are called for a foul right off the bat. So Williams-Sullivan will come the other way. Running the show for them at the point position is Augusta Hollins as the Tigers come out in what looks like a 1-3-1 zone setup. Yellow Jackets patient on the first possession, looking inside. Diagonal pass, though, picked off, and here comes the Tigers. That pass goes inside, unable to finish, though. So quickly back the other way. Once again, it's Hollins swinging it out. The shot is up and off, but rebounded that time by Charles Dickens. That one launched deep from outside. The three ball is good. Demarius Gibson scoring the first points of the game for the Yellow Jackets. See Marquise Vance, the leading scorer and rebounder for Williams-Sullivan, but turnover And, Coach, I got to imagine nerves may play a factor early in the game as these teams kind of get adjusted.
Well, yes, early on I think it's like a boxing match. You're trying to feel each other out, and, you have the nerves going. And I think once they settle down, you'll start to see shots start to fall, and the guys will loosen up and make baskets.
That three-point attempt is off. Cortez Wade's shot, no good.
It looks like Williams-Sullivan's going to try to get the ball in the big guy, and they looking to double team him every time he catches on the block.
That pass tipped and deflected back the other way. Comes Augusta Hollins. The kick out. Once again, another three ball knocked down. Again, it is Demarius Gibson, and quickly a 6-0 lead for the Yellow Jackets. So running the point is Tomasio Wilson, a senior for the Marshall Tigers. They get it inside to Vance. Vance will go to work. Strong move underneath, puts the first points on the board for the Tigers. And, Coach, he stands out on the floor, and there's a reason he's rated so highly.
Yeah, he's a tremendous player, and I think Williams-Sullivan is going to have a tough matchup trying to guard him down there. He's going to have his way down there.
So once again, Marshall remains in a little bit of a zone setup here. Sullivan works it around. They'll take another deep three ball. That one in and out. The shot no good by Dickens. So quickly, Wilson comes the other way, kicks it in the corner. That launched and up and good. Knocked down by Jamal Jackson. And quickly, the Tigers have cut it to a 1-point game.
I think Marshall's trying to extend that 1-3-1 and keep pressure on those wings and force them to shoot some bad shots out there.
This time, penetration shot is blocked. Big defensive stand by Raheem Hogan. And then quickly, Wilson the other way. Wilson kicks it out to the corner again. Another three-ball launch. It is good once again for Jackson. He's got the hot hand early for the Tigers. That time the drive results in a traveling violation. Kadarius Wilson trying to work his way through.
Yes, I think early on, Travis, I think that 1-3-1 Marshall's playing is giving Williams-Sullivan fits right now. They're trying to work their way around, work the ball around and trying to find a good shot.
Wilson brings it up, works it inside to Vance. Vance going to operate with his back to the basket. Great look inside. First shot no good. And then a foul called on DeMarcus Weatherall. But we got a glimpse there of the passing ability of Marquise Vance and the vision he has.
Yes, he's quite a versatile player. He's a good passer, good ball handler, rebounds the ball well. He's quite an athlete.
And there comes a big block. The point guard, Tomasio Wilson. He's also a guy that brings a versatile game and a pretty good size point guard that runs the show for Marshall.
Right, Marshall starts a huge lineup. They're really big, and I think that's going to give Williams-Sullivan some difficulties trying to get the ball on the inside today.
They get it up top to Wade. Wade will run the offense, kicks it to the corner. Gibson over to Drury Montgomery. And then once again, a drive into the middle of the paint is no good. Wilson comes up with the rebound quickly out to Vance. Vance on the fast break, splits the defense. His shot is no good, but there for the rebound, Raheem Hogan. And now the Tigers take an early 10-6 lead. And after hitting those two quick threes, Williams-Sullivan has run into a little bit of trouble and look to be out of sync right now.
Yeah, I think they're trying to work the ball in the perimeter because it's going to be difficult to get it in the inside with Marshall being so big under there. So hopefully Williams-Sullivan can start to get some shots going on the outside.
Vance operates another good look inside, but his pass can't be handled by Hogan. There'll be a turnover. Yellow Jackets coming the other way. And what's interesting about this matchup, both of these schools come from the same county, both located in Holmes County, separated by about 30 miles, what they call the biggest basketball rivalry in the county. And it's just interesting the way it's split, that one comes out of the north in Marshall and the other one is located in the south in Williams-Sullivan, so that they would meet in this semifinal matchup.
Yeah, and I'm sure they've been looking for this matchup for quite some time now. I know they've been anticipating it, and the community as well. So it's a very friendly rival, and I know they're really looking forward to it to this day.
And a good turnout here with quite a bit of folks from Holmes County making a short trip down I-55 to the Coliseum. Shot won't go down for the Tigers, so quickly the other way. Good move there by Gibson. His shot won't fall. The putback also won't go in by Montgomery Jr.
Well, right now, Marsh is dominating the boards. I know they're with the size advantage, they're really taking advantage of it right now, early on.
And in talking with Coach Carter over at Williams-Sullivan yesterday, he said that's one of the big things to watch out for, is they're going to be undersized, and they have to overcome that with the fundamentals, with the determination. He said we have to rebound. To win, we absolutely have to rebound. Inbounds pass comes to Vance. He'll operate from the right corner. Vance now will swing it up top to Jackson. Wilson takes a low line drive shot, which turns into a pass, and an effective one at that, as he gets it into Weatherall. And now the Tigers doubling up the Yellow Jackets 12-6. Deep three that time, well short. Gibson can't convert, but he has help underneath Dickens there with the rebound, and he'll go to the line.
Yes, that time Williams-Sullivan was able to get an offensive rebound, and I think that's what they're going to have to do in order to get back in this ball game.
So Dickens will go to the line. The lefty gets the first one off the front iron and in. A couple of substitutions now for the Tigers as Wilson and both Vance go out. The head man for the Tigers, it is Antoine Patrick. He is matched on the other side. Williams-Sullivan led by Coach Habre Carter in his second year guiding this team. It's 12-8, the new score. Marshall comes the other way. That shot up and no good. Quickly out on the break. Here comes the Yellow Jackets, and a great move to the bucket and score that time by Cortez Wade.
All right, I think that's what Sullivan's going to have to do. They're going to have to extend their defense and make it an up and down ball game to make sure to utilize the size that Marshall is having, advantage that Marshall has over them right now.
So with Wilson out of the game, Omarius Ali in at point guard. Hogan still in. He gets the pass underneath, draws contact, and Raheem Hogan now will go to the line. Hogan, a senior for this Tigers team, with the second of two free throws. Marshall leading Williams-Sullivan 13-10, just under a minute to go here in the first quarter. That one is off, but the rebound controlled by Kadarius Wilson. Then again inside, that shot no good. Hogan working the offensive glass. He will go back to the line, and his size is being used to a big advantage for the Tigers.
Oh, most definitely. Whenever you can start, you got 2 6'5" playing for you, it always a plus. And like I say, Williams-Sullivan is going to have to find a way to keep them off that offensive glass.
But that free throw is off. They'll get one more as Coach Carter makes some changes. He brings in Bernard Edwards now for the first time. Second one goes down 14-10 now the score, with SV Marshall on top of Williams-Sullivan. Gibson taps it back, and Augusta Hollins will bring it up.
Again, Marshall's in the 1-3-1 trying to disrupt their offense, trying to keep everything out on the perimeter, and thus far they've been doing a pretty good job at it.
Been very effective. Yellow Jackets will hold for the first shot of the first quarter, it looks like, at 10 seconds now. They come on the move, swing it into the far corner. Hollins will penetrate his shot high, no good, controlled by the Tigers. Quickly the other way, they'll get one final look at it. Off the backboard, no good. So after 1 quarter of action, the SV Marshall Tigers lead the Williams-Sullivan Yellow Jackets 14-10. And we saw a couple of quick threes early on there for the Tigers that got their offense going, but it looks like Marshall has a little bit of advantage with some of their experience, with some of their size. That's going to be tough for Sullivan to overcome.
Yeah, but it's still early on. I think with Williams-Sullivan 14-10, I think they're in good shape. But I really feel like they're going to have to extend their defense, put some pressure on them out front, and try to force some turnovers, being that Marshall is so big up front, and it's going to be really hard to try to score down low.
If we look at how these teams got to today's game, SV Marshall out of the north side of the bracket in Class 2A, they started the playoffs with a win over Walnut. Then they beat Coahoma AHS 50-45, beat Bruce, and then in the North State Finals beat Baldwin 66-61. As for Williams-Sullivan, in the South, they went through East Marion, Taylorsville, and then beat Bassfield by 5 to clinch this spot in the state tournament. So there you go. There's that. They try and make that adjustment there, bring a guy to the middle of the paint to break the zone, but traveling the call on Demarius Rocket. Tomasio Wilson back in the game. Wilson will kick it in the corner to Jackson. Down inside, another big bucket from Raheem Hogan. Now 16-10, the lead for the Tigers. That time a strong drive to the bucket from Wade. He draws the contact. Wade will now go to the line.
That's one thing I've been impressed with the big guys, Vance as well as Hogan. They do a really good job of passing out of the double team, and you don't see that a whole lot out of big guys at this stage in basketball. But they really do a good job of getting the ball to the open guy.
First free throw goes down. Now 16-11. Sullivan trailing. Second one good as well.
Sullivan is extending their 2-3 zone, trying to get some pressure out front to keep the ball from getting to the inside.
Shot from the left corner, no good. Quickly the other way comes Hollins. Hollins, though, will lose control of it, turns it over. Marshall regains the possession. Drive along the baseline, shot up and no good. Vance there for the rebound, and he will draw contact and go to the line. So here comes Vance again, working through multiple defenders. His shot no good, but that leaves the backside open for the rebound. Put back no good as well. Williams-Sullivan comes out of it. Gibson bringing it up the floor. He'll kick it in the corner to Hollins. And then back up top to Gibson.
Marshall's doing a very good job of using their length to disrupt the offense of Williams-Sullivan early on here.
Foul called on Jamal Jackson as Hollins made his way into the middle. Fouls on the floor. No shots coming up. The Yellow Jackets will throw in. Good ball movement here results in a shot down low. Couple of bounces off the rim, but it won't go down for Montgomery. Good look inside the give and go, but the finish not there. And then out of bounds the call as DeMarcus Weatherall came up with the rebound, but execution was good. The finish just wasn't there.
Right, they did a good job. That was a good give and go. Just wasn't able to execute.
Now Wilson with the drive to the goal, blocked at the rim. Sullivan comes up with the ball. Quickly the other way, it's Hollins. Wade spins in the lane. His shot is no good, but before he could get it off, traveling is called.
Marshall's transition defense has been superb in the first half. They're really doing a good job of getting back and forcing Williams-Sullivan to take shots over the top.
Masio Wilson brings it up. They work it around to Vance. Vance getting double and triple teamed almost every time he gets the ball. That time we get a 3-second call in the lane, so it'll turn it over. Yellow Jackets regain possession. (16-12). SV Marshall leads Williams-Sullivan here with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter of this boys 2A semifinal game. That shot comes up short. Levante March had a look at it from the free throw stripe, but couldn't get it to go. So Wilson comes back the other way. He'll go one-on-one, drives baseline, strong move, but can't quite finish. Contested at the rim, and here come the Yellow Jackets quickly up the floor. That shot contested, but up and in. Strong finish by Rocket.
I think that's what Williams-Sullivan is going to have to do. Push the tempo and try to get some easy baskets in transition. Not let Marshall set their defense up and have to shoot over the top of them.
Now Vance goes to work on the block. He'll turn. His jumper is off and no good. So again, here they go, pushing the ball up the floor. Deep outside three, off, no good. The attempt there by Rocket won't go down. Coach Patrick wants to settle things down. Marshall calls the timeout, and their offense has gone a little bit stagnant over the last few minutes as they're trying to feel themselves out.
Right, I think Marshall's got to get it settled down. They're missing some easy shots down low right now, but I think as the game progresses, you'll see Vance and you'll see Hogan makes those chippies they've been missing here early on.
Well, and it definitely looks like when Vance gets the ball there on the block, they're highlighting him and they're bringing multiple guys over and making him get rid of the ball if they can.
Right, they're trying to force someone else to beat them, and right now they're doing a good job of making them shoot three-point shots as opposed to getting layups underneath the basket. And I think that's helping Williams-Sullivan right now to stay in the ball game.
So halfway through the second quarter here, the Tigers on top, 16-14. Jackson with the ball, gets it back up top to Wilson. Jackson will fire it up from deep. His shot is off the back iron, but the rebound controlled up and in. Great second effort that time by Jeremiah Proctor.
Marshall has now switched to a 2-3 zone, just trying to mix things up.
That time shot is no good. Quickly the other way, Wilson is going to push, splits the defense, somehow gets that shot to spin up and in, almost impossible angle, but Tomasio Wilson gets it to go. Now a 6-point Tiger lead.
Timeout called by Coach
foul.
Carter.
That time on Marshall, and yeah, Coach Carter trying to get his guys settled down. They'd cut the lead to 2, but 4 quick points there by the Tigers to build it back up 2014. Coach Bolden, one of the things we always talk about when we come play at the Coliseum is the floor's a little bit bigger, the depth perception is a little bit different. How do teams try to adjust to that when they come to this level?
Well, normally I know last year when we were preparing to come down here, we tried to get to a Coliseum area where we could try to get some shots and try to emulate where playing here. And as far as like Jackson State, Southern Miss, to kind of get something similar to that.
That time Rocket with a drive to the bucket. He draws the contact. Marius Rocket now will go to the line.
Williams-Sullivan won't go away. I think they're gonna let Marshall know they're gonna be here to the end. They're gonna fight to the end, and I think that's one reason why they're here tonight, because they don't give up and they continue to fight.
And these two teams met earlier in the season, back in a tournament in Durant on December 15th. That game, SV Marshall got the win 77-66, but Coach Carter was telling me he only had 6 players available that night on his bench, so he felt like they matched up with them, and there were a few things that they would be able to do today to kind of overcome some of those downfalls they had in the first meeting. And right now they're hanging with them, only down 4, just over 2 minutes to go in the half. Wilson, nice spin move, step back jumper. That one, though, a little too hard. So coming the other way are the Yellow Jackets. Rocket makes a move and kicks it back out to Dickens. That ball, though, is turned over quickly the other way. The Tigers go and score. Jeremiah Proctor lays it in, 22-16. Tigers lead.
I think turnover is going to be very important with the outcome of this game. Whenever you're in a game of this magnitude, the less turnovers you have, the better your chances of coming out victorious.
There's a good drive and a shot put in by Augusta Hollins. And a quick turnover. Wilson travels, so just over a minute and a half left. 4-point deficit. Williams-Sullivan gets the ball back. Coach Carter will call timeout, try and get a play drawn up here and see if he can't maybe even the score or even take a lead as they go into the locker room.
Coach Carter has extended his defense to a 4-court man. I think it's kind of disrupting Marshall right now. I think a great strategy by Coach Carter, and it forced a couple of turnovers here early.
Do you buy into the theory that it may take a half for these teams to kind of settle in, get comfortable, adjust to the environment, everything that goes into this?
Definitely. I think second half you'll see a more calmer, poised team on both teams' part. Right now, like I say, they just want to feel each other out and try to get through the first half with the game being close, especially Williams-Sullivan. They're just trying to keep the game close. And in the second half, I think you'll see more of Marshall, what they like to do, as well as what Williams-Sullivan like to do.
Coming out of the timeout, Yellow Jackets will inbound on the baseline, and as he goes for the steal, Tomasio Wilson with the foul. Only the 16th foul, so not quite in the bonus yet for Williams-Sullivan. Hollins calls out the plays. He sets his guys in motion. They swing it in the corner to Rocket. Rocket looks back up top, this time to Dickens. Being a little more patient with their possession now as Hollins will look back at Coach Carter and reset things. Oh, the drive underneath, a big lefty sky hook from Dickens. He gets it to go. We've got a 2-point game.
Sullivan has now switched to a man-to-man defense, doubling the post steal, trying to disrupt Marshall's offense.
But through the double team, Marquise Vance gets it to go off the window. So less than half a minute remaining, 24-20. Williams-Sullivan with the ball down 4. See if they hold for the last shot here. No, they go quickly. Hollins, wild shot, no good. Vance comes up with the rebound, checks the clock, but gets it stolen away and coming the other way. A huge block on the layup attempt. Tomasio Wilson shuts down Montgomery as he tried to lay it in.
That was a great effort by Wilson not to give up on the play and come back and defend it very well.
So 2.7 left. Going to have to get a quick shot. Rocket will take it. His 3 is short, and we are at the break. The SV Marshall Tigers on top 24-20 over Williams-Sullivan here in the Class 2A boys semifinal game. When we come back, we'll take a look at how we got to this point and get you ready for the second half of action. You're watching high school basketball here on the Mississippi Sports High School Network.
Get a player up here. Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSHSAA.tv/SBP.
It's halftime here at the Mississippi Coliseum. The SV Marshall Tigers up on Williams-Sullivan 24-20 in the Class 2A boys semifinal matchup. I'm Travis Raycheck, joined alongside by Randy Bolden. And Coach, from that first half, what were the biggest things that you took from both sides?
Well, I think from SV Marshall's side, I took that they really did a great job of rebounding the basketball. I think they dominated the glass. And I think that's the reason they're up at halftime. And from Williams-Sullivan's side, they really got dominated on the glass, but they did a good job of forcing turnovers, and I think that's what helped got them back into the ball game, as well as pushing the tempo. And they pushed the tempo and got some easy transition layup that got them back into the game.
I think a lot of people came out here ready to see Dandy Dozen Jr. standout Marquise Vance have a big performance. He was quiet in the first half, but I feel like maybe he was really feeling things out and could be poised for a huge second half.
Well, I agree with you, Travis. And also I think he really contributed, even though he didn't score as much in the first half, but he contributed to a lot of the baskets that SV Marshall had, because he did a great job of passing out of the double team, getting his teammates easy layups as well as easy three-pointers.
So in this Holmes County rivalry game, it's the Tigers on top of the Yellow Jackets 24-20 here at the half. When we return, we will bring you all the second half action of this 2A boys semifinal matchup here on the Mississippi High School Sports Network. Welcome back to the Mississippi Coliseum. We're getting set for the second half of the Class 2A boys semifinal matchup between the SV Marshall Tigers and the Williams-Sullivan Yellow Jackets. 24-20 the score right now as the Tigers are on top. And Coach Bolden, we look at the stats right here, and one of the big things we see is it's not great field goal percentage, especially for the Yellow Jackets at 6-24.
Yeah, the Yellow Jacket didn't shoot really particularly well from the field, but I think what they did a good job at the free throw line. I see they went 6 for 6 from the free throw line, and I think that helps to make up for the lack of their shooting deficiencies.
Both teams with 7 turnovers. The Tigers with a little bit of the rebound advantage, and they have the advantage on the scoreboard right now as we get set for the second half of action. The Tigers will start with the ball. They're in the all-white uniforms with the maroon and gold trim. Williams-Sullivan in the all-black tops and shorts as well. Marquise Vance with the lob underneath, but his pass too high off the rim, so quickly the other way. Sullivan has a chance to score, but that shot up and no good.
Even though Williams-Sullivan didn't score in that possession, I think they did a good job of getting the ball out quick, getting themselves the opportunity to get a quick layup there.
Yeah, Wade had a good look at it, just put it off the front iron. But quickly the other way, Tomasio Wilson knocks down a huge three, extends the lead to 7.
Tomasio is a good-looking player. He's really poised and a good-looking jump shot there.
And talking with the Yellow Jackets coach, Carter, yesterday, he said that's the guy. That's the guy that we have to stop. Everybody focuses on Marquise Vance, and they definitely are, but he said Wilson makes them go. That shot up and no good. So quickly again the other way. Here comes Vance and Wilson for the Tigers. Wilson draws the contact that time. He's going to go to the line, get 3 free throws on that foul.
Yeah, I think Wilson is starting to get in his groove there. I see the little pop jump in his step, so I think we're really anticipating a big second half for him.
Yeah, Tomasio Wilson only with 2 points in the first half. He's already got over that margin with the 3 to start the second half. His first free throw is no good. The Tigers put no one in the box there for the rebound either. They send everybody back.
Well, I know some coaches believe in doing that from the standpoint of not picking up cheap fouls over the back, and that may be one of the reasons Coach Patrick is deciding to do that today.
Wilson hits 2 of 3, so he's quickly up to 7 points on the afternoon. And the Tigers remain in a zone defense right now. Sullivan will try and work it around the perimeter. They've got Hollins out on top along with Wade, Rocket, Gibson, and also Montgomery. High floater in the lane. That will get a shooter's touch as it is dropped in. Cortez Wade with the bucket. Yeah, Wilson has come out very aggressive here in the second half. Takes another shot. That one, though, won't fall. In the corner, Hollins drives into the lane, draws contact. Give inside, then out to Gibson. Good pump fake. The 3, too deep, and Wilson comes up with the board. And again, Wilson pushes it up the floor. That time, a little bit out of control. His shot goes off and then out of bounds. Yellow Jackets will take over.
Yes, Wilson is coming out very aggressive today. The second half, I think he found that he's going to have to pick it up in order for his team to win today. Again, that 1-3-1 extended defense is giving Williams-Sullivan problems right now. They're trying to figure out where the gaps are in that defense.
Just so much size in that defense, creating very small lanes to work with for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, and that length is definitely giving them problems as far as seeing what's open and getting good shots.
Between Hogan, Vance, and as well as DeMarcus Weatherall. A lot of big bodies in there for Marshall. That shot by Hogan is off, no good, so quickly the other way comes Gibson. Gibson gets it to Wade. Now Hollins from the left wing. He's going to penetrate baseline. Good look underneath. Pass deflected back out to him. That time Gibson's shot is up, no good. But the Yellow Jackets will get it right back as Marshall turns it over.
Yeah, Williams-Sullivan is trying to find a way, trying to get going offensively, trying to get some of those shots to fall.
And their turnover, Jamal Jackson comes away with it. He gets it up court, but that pass too long for Wilson as he leaps over the banner there behind the basket. So again, a little bit of a rough start on both sides here in the second half as either team can't quite find their rhythm.
Yeah, and also being they had more days off than they're accustomed to, and so I think that plays a factor in it as well. But I think down the stretch you'll start to see them starting to loosen up and play their brand of basketball.
That time the shot from deep in the corner, no good from Gibson. Wilson will push it up floor. Surveys, makes a nice move, duck and under. Tomasio Wilson lays it in. Now a 9-point advantage for Marshall.
Yeah, this is a very crucial time for Williams-Sullivan right now. Don't want the game to get out of hand here. Marshall's on a run here, so it can get scary real quick here.
Huge block by Vance. He's rewarded on the other end as Wilson finds him, and quickly Coach Carter gets the timeout. Williams-Sullivan now trails 33-22. Marshall gaining some momentum there, and what a sequence there. We saw what Marquise Vance has to offer. He gets the block on one end, runs the floor, and gets rewarded on the other end with a layup.
Yeah, he's a do-it-all guy. He does it on both ends of the floor, and that's what the good ones do. They play both ends of the floor, and he's doing an exceptional job today.
And Vance has been very patient with his game. He's only taken 6 shots. He's hit 3 of them so far, so just 6 points, but he's playing within the system, and right now 33-22.
Right, I think
Marshall has built the lead.
He's doing a great job, Travis, of letting the game come to him. He's not forcing the issue. He's playing within himself, and I think that's one reason why Marshall's up right now.
So on the other end, Coach Carter trying to settle his guys down. This is a critical stretch of the game here. Halfway through the third quarter, you can't let this get out of hand right now.
Right. I think this is a big possession for Williams-Sullivan. They need to try to score here and try to turn the momentum, shift the momentum back, and get going here in this third quarter.
That time they get the ball down inside of Charles Dickens. He was going to work on Hogan underneath, draws the contact and the foul. Just the second team foul on Marshall this half. Quickly the inbounds pass, but the shot is off, and the Tigers come the other way. Wilson will push to Jackson. Jackson works baseline. His layup is up and good. Extends the lead to 13 points.
Yes, Marshall's doing a good job of getting the rebound, getting it out quick, and that early offense is getting them some easy baskets on the other end.
Once again, Dickens, good look down low, but a huge block as Weatherall goes up to get it. Does commit the foul, though, with the contact on the body. And we've seen a much more aggressive Tomasio Wilson here in the second half. He's made some buckets, but he's also running the fast break and making good decisions with his passes.
Right. We knew after a slow first half, we figured that he would come out and be much more aggressive, and that's exactly what he's done here in the second half.
Free throw up and good from Montgomery Jr. Now a 35-24 game.
Sullivan now is picking him up full court, putting some pressure on him, trying to force some turnovers here.
Wilson once again kicks it out to Jackson. Back up top, Wilson will pull it. That one short. Montgomery with the rebound out to Rocket. Rocket will push. His layup comes up short, and so the Tigers take it the other way. That shot won't go down for Jeremiah Proctor. Rebound controlled by Williams-Sullivan. Another long three by Rocket. That is going to come up way short as well, and forcing some shots now.
Yeah, I don't think that's the shot that Coach Carter particularly like from the guy from shooting it that far out. But they're trying to get some turnovers. I think they're gonna put their full court pressure on them now and try to force some turnovers.
And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to use a little bit of that speed, a little bit of that athleticism, because obviously the size is not in their favor. And Coach Carter knew that when we talked yesterday. He said, look, we play with a lot of heart, play with a lot of determination, but yeah, we are undersized and we are young, so those are some of the things we're going to have to overcome in this game. Right,
and there's still plenty of time left. It's still anybody's ball game, and I think Williams-Sullivan, they didn't get here by quitting, so I'm anticipating those guys to continue to work hard and force some turnovers here.
Winner of this game will play the winner of Bay Springs versus Baldwin. That's the other 2A semifinal game. Those two set to tip off at 2:30 this afternoon. Coming out of the timeout, shot is missed by Weatherall and then knocked out of bounds. They're going to call jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Tigers. One game is in the books here at the State High School Basketball Tournament. The first action of the day, the 2A girls semifinals. The New Site Lady Royals taking down the Bassfield Lady Yellow Jackets. So New Site will wait to play the winner of Taylorsville and Walnut. That game coming up at 1 o'clock this afternoon. 6 games total today and tomorrow, and then 4 more semifinal games Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before we get to the championship action next Thursday. So, Coach, we get over a week of the best high school basketball the state has to offer here.
Yeah, this is an exciting time. Mississippi love their basketball, and the support. It's just an overwhelming feeling to see the people come out and support Mississippi high school basketball.
So the possession does belong to Marshall. They'll throw the deep inbounds pass to Wilson.
Williams-Sullivan now is picking them up, man.
Wilson goes to work on Hollins. His pass for Jamal Jackson kicked out of bounds. Turnover there. Yellow Jackets take back over.
Now Williams-Sullivan has to find a way to try to get in those gaps and make some of those easy layups in there. They've missed quite a few layups that's put them in a hole here.
That time Dickens goes to work on Vance, and he draws the contact. So they're trying to find something underneath, bringing Charles Dickens into the game, and he's working on the low block, been able to get to the line a couple of times.
All right, and they're doing a great job of getting at the line, making their free throws, and I think that's what's keeping them in the game. Up as I say that, they miss
exactly. That's the way it works. So Vance will come out of the game. Checking in for him is Kadarius Wilson. Second free throw is up and good. 35-25. Marshall on top. Minute and a half remaining in the third quarter. Wilson penetrates. Good look underneath. That time he finds Weatherall, and Weatherall draws the contact.
Wilson is a good-looking player out there. He handles the ball well. He has great size, great vision. He's a good-looking basketball player out there.
It's another thing we've talked about here before, and especially at the high school level. If you get one or two really dominant players, they can kind of take over a game.
Definitely, and the great players always make the guys around them much better, and I think that's what separates guys like Wilson. He's able to make the guys around him much better.
scramble for the ball there. Both teams go down on the floor, tie up. This time the possession arrow pointing in the way of the Yellow Jackets. They trail 36-25. This was just a 4-point game at halftime. Marshall has come out, put on an impressive performance here in the third quarter, but there comes a bucket by Montgomery Jr., cuts the lead back to single digits. Nice drive and layup there by Wilson. Good answer for the Tigers. And then offensive foul called. And the momentum returns to the side of SV Marshall with under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Tigers spreading the floor here, just over 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Wilson looks content to hold the ball as long as possible as he works on Hollins, draws the foul as well, the fourth team foul on Williams-Sullivan.
Again, Wilson shows his versatility, being able to step out at the point guard position and handle the basketball and get the guys in their offense and get them in place.
And you can feel the momentum on the Tigers' side, too, as their fans have really gotten into it here late in the third quarter. Wilson again will go to work.
Yeah, I think Marshall's holding for the last shot here.
So there's Wilson matched up on Montgomery. Under 10 seconds now. This time, though, the 5-second call, he held on a little bit too long, and that'll turn it over. 7.7 left. Now Sullivan will get a chance for the last shot. They roll it into Gibson. Gibson gets it back to Hollins. Now Gibson will pull up for the three. His shot is up and over the basket, no good. So that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter in the Class 2A boys semifinal game. It is the SV Marshall Tigers on top of Williams-Sullivan, 38-27. 8 minutes remaining here at the Mississippi Coliseum. Coming up here in just a minute, we will be joined by the executive director of the MHSAA, Mr. Don Hinton. He is courtside with us here as we get ready for the final period of play. And Mr. Hinton joins us now. We appreciate your time. And Don, just tell me about the setup and the excitement as we get the state basketball tournament started today.
That goes into this, and we're really excited, particularly new staff with our association coming in, but what a tremendous crowd we've had here to kick it off this morning, and with these schools, and just tremendously again venue and atmosphere here in the Mississippi Coliseum. These schools love to come to the big house, and I think that the whole towns are here with these schools that we've had so far this morning.
Yeah, we have had some great turnouts and a lot of excitement in these first two games so far. Coach, this is, Mr. Hinton, this is just the start. We got a lot of basketball over the next week and a half to get excited about.
We do, and we're really excited about it being streamed, and I know we'll have later on our championship ball games will be going out on over our television, and so we're excited about the media being here and what they add to this tournament.
As you look to the future, and I know there's been talks about some changes coming up, just talk about some of the discussions that have been had and things that are being considered for the future of the state basketball tournament.
Well, we're going to always, it's going to be an ongoing process to look at the very best venues for our young people to be able to showcase their teams and their talents and their communities. There's so many things that are involved in all that, from a monetary standpoint of transportation and distances and all. But we look at other states, and we're very creative, and we listen to our coaches and we listen to our schools, and we just want to find the very best atmosphere, the very best venue, facility, and so forth, so that our schools will be able to just enjoy their high school years. And if it's a different place, a different community, or a different part of the state, then we want to be able to do that too.
Executive Director of the MHSAA, Don Hinton, joining us. What are some of the things you mentioned that we can look for at this tournament? I know the streaming online is new. What were some of the other things you tried to implement for this tournament?
Well, again, to just have great crowds here to play in a building like this is a big thing for our kids. And, of course, we even have some schools that try to go to find Coliseums to come and shoot in there. So just that kind of atmosphere in a facility like this is big for our folks. And, of course, from our concessions, concession stands trying to hand set. I saw some pigskins they're selling down there. People need to come out and just get those pigskins, that barbecue pigskins. But just, again, whatever we can do in our venues, having it televised once again, and through MPB and our Play On Sports, and we're excited about that.
36 games over the next 8 days will be played here at the State High School Basketball Tournament. Don Hinton, Executive Director of the MHSAA, joining us. Don, we appreciate your time, and you put on a great show here.
Well, thank you, guys. We do, and it adds so much, again, for our people at home right now that can't make it. They're able to watch this over the Internet, and it just adds so much to it, and we appreciate your efforts in doing that.
Absolutely. We appreciate Don Hinton joining us, and people at home getting a chance to see Williams-Sullivan try and make a comeback here. They've cut it to 38-29, just over 6 minutes to go. But the answer comes from the Tigers, and it comes from Kadarius Wilson. A huge three from the corner. And quickly the other way. Shot is missed, and Wilson will control for Marshall. He gets it over to Jamal Jackson. The step back, but he took an extra step. So we got a little frenetic pace quickly here to start the fourth quarter.
Things are definitely picking up, Travis.
So here we are, just under 6 minutes to go, 41-29. The Marshall Tigers lead the Williams-Sullivan Yellow Jackets. We've mentioned it earlier. These are Holmes County rivals, but yet Marshall represents the north side of the state in the bracket, and Williams-Sullivan represents the south. Only 30 miles separate them. So these are kids that have grown up playing ball together, and very familiar, and definitely a rivalry up there in Holmes County. Turnover that time by Williams-Sullivan, so Marshall will come back the other way with the 12-point lead.
Well, I think here in the fourth quarter, SV Marshall decided to put the basketball in Wilson's hand and let him make plays for him.
Jamal Jackson will fire from the top of the key. His shot in and out, but there's Vance with a big rebound. And then Vance has it knocked away from him, turned back over to Williams-Sullivan. And that one is turned right back over. So here come the Tigers. Here comes Weatherall. Strong move to the bucket. He draws the foul on Rocket. And DeMarcus Weatherall will go to the line.
Weatherall is a good-looking player, too, a freshman. So he's had a very great upside. Looks good out there, very, very poised, and looks like he's going to be a pretty good player for Coach coming up in the next couple of years.
Yeah, Coach Carter plays a lot of freshmen on this team. He's got a couple of ninth graders. Bernard Edwards gets some minutes, and Herman Jones, as well as Cortez Wade, and for them. And yeah, and Marshall has those young guys too. So bright futures for both of these programs. The lead now extended to 42-29. That one is dribbled off the foot of Demarius Gibson and turned over to the Tigers.
Turnovers here starting to hurt the Yellow Jackets here late in the second half. In order to get back in this game, they're going to have to limit those turnovers here.
Hollins commits the foul on Wilson, and as we look at the stat line, Wilson has got himself up over he's got himself to the 11-point margin with a big third quarter, leading all scorers in the game right now. Also has 4 rebounds. He's putting together a pretty solid performance.
Yeah, he's starting to fill up that stat sheet, as well as 3 assists as well and 2 blocks. So he's really starting to fill that stat sheet up.
Wilson at the line. His 13th point of the game extends the lead to 15 now with just 5 minutes remaining. That time, Jackson comes up with the steal. He'll take it all the way in, lay it up, and in off the glass. Jamal Jackson scores, and it is now a 17-point SV Marshall lead.
I think this 1-3-1's really rattled the Yellow Jackets here today. They're really having problems with making here. They drains a three-pointer there.
Big shot there by Hollins. They needed that. And, yeah, you look at the field goal percentage. It was 25% in the first half, under 20% in the third quarter. And they can't get any stops now. That time Hogan grabs the offensive rebound and puts it home. A good answer just after the Yellow Jackets hit the three. But now Sullivan comes back. Demarius Rocket drives to the bucket and scores. And here we go. Oh, the lob up top. Weatherall can't finish on the jam. And now a lob back the other way. And Williams-Sullivan can't finish.
Yeah, things are definitely picking up there. Marshall had an opportunity as well as the Yellow Jackets, and neither one was able to convert. So I think Williams-Sullivan now is going to work some time. Marshall's going to work some time.
Wilson will control his shot, though, a little bit to the right. Coming back the other way is Sullivan. All the way to the bucket. The scoop up and under. Cortez Wade finishes. Cuts the lead down to 12. And now Coach Patrick definitely wants to get a timeout. Make sure that his team doesn't get overexcited here and maintains their poise with this nice-sized lead.
Yeah, I think Coach Patrick just want to settle things down, run a control set here this possession, and kind of work some time off the clock, because the clock is the score is in his favor. So he want to try to milk some clock each possession here on out.
48-36. The Tigers on top of the Yellow Jackets. And one of the big things we've seen throughout this second half, we've talked about him, is Tomasio Wilson and his ability to run the show and really be that calming presence. And I think that's maybe one of the things that Williams-Sullivan has had trouble with. They haven't found that one guy to really step up and have a big game and kind of carry the load.
Yeah, the positive thing about that with Williams-Sullivan, they're looking at their roster, they're bringing all their guys back. So this is going to definitely be a learning experience for them. And I'm sure next year they'll have 2 or 3 guys that's willing to step up and do the things they need to do in order to finish basketball game. They really have a bright future there at Williams-Sullivan.
And they've made a lot of progress under Coach Carter. He came in the summer before last season, said he didn't really have a lot of time to work with the guys, get to know them. So last year they were filling themselves out. They still made it to the playoffs before losing to Bruce early on. And as I say this, Marquise Vance gets in offensive glass and puts that one home, extending the lead. And yeah, they've really grown together this year in Coach Carter's second year at the helm, and have a bright future. Right now they're down 14 though, just over 3 minutes to go, and Marshall with possession.
Yeah, they're going to have to force some turnovers here and try to get some easy basket and try to get back in this ball game in the last 3 minutes here.
Vance bringing it up. Vance will get it.
Yeah, Vance showing his versatility, able to bring the ball down. That's always a luxury. You get your big guy to bring it down.
Good feed inside from Jackson to Hogan. He will reach around and lay it in. That time the foul committed on DeMarcus Weatherall as Hollins was making his way inside. Only the 16th foul for them, so no bonus just yet. Gibson will fire up the three from the right corner. His shot is off, but actually tipped in by the Tigers accidentally. Weatherall trying to go up for the rebound, knocked it in the bucket. 52-38, over 2 minutes to go. Vance now handling the ball as he brings it up against Hollins. Vance will leave it for Wilson. Wilson lobs it up. Hogan will get it to go.
Very good looking play there. They were able to get the lob. Very great execution.
Sullivan now forced to fire up some threes. That one no good from Wade. Ball thrown out of bounds. Tigers with possession.
Williams-Sullivan is really having problems from the three-point line. I think they've only made 2 for the game, so they're really having difficulties out there tonight.
So Vance will hold it up near midcourt as he works on Rocket. Vance spin move. He'll drive to the lane, but took an extra step there. Ball goes back to the Yellow Jackets. Quickly, Hollins into the lane, draws contact, and it's probably something Coach Patrick didn't want to see. You know, if they're going to drive, let them score. Let's not put them at the line and stop the clock.
Right. You never want them to score with the clock being stopped at this stage in the ball game. But I tell you, Coach Patrick really has a gem in Vance there. When you have that luxury of a guy being of his size to bring that basketball down and take the pressure off your guards, that's really a luxury to have.
Yeah, Marquise Vance at 6'5", only a junior, and just plays really calm, plays really under control, and has worked well within the offense today. Tigers bring it down. Jackson works it back up to Vance. Vance will kick it back over to Jackson. Little give and go. Oh, nice. Good fake right there. Marquise Vance lays it up and in. Once again, it's Hollins driving and drawing contact. He'll go back to the charity stripe.
I'm sure that's one of those areas Coach Patrick will talk about after the game today to try to let them know for the next game you definitely want that clock to keep rolling when you're a minute or so left in the game and you're up 16.
So for SV Marshall, who looks like they'll go on for the victory, how do you handle another long off period? Because they won't play again until next Thursday.
Well, the thing about it, you just try to put them in game mode. You just try to practice with that high intensity and just hopefully once the next game starts, it won't take long for them to adjust back to game mode. So it's a difficult situation, but, hey, you just have to deal with it and go on from there.
If the Tigers hold on to win, they will play the winner of Bay Springs versus Baldwin. That matchup 2:30 this afternoon here at the Big House. The next game coming up will be the other 2A girls semifinal game between Taylorsville, the 1 seed out of the south, and Walnut, the 2 seed out of the north. There's a block by Hogan, knocked out of bounds. Under a minute now, 56-42. SV Marshall with the lead here late in the game. And the Tiger fans can definitely feel it now. The bleachers are stomping. They're making noise as they know their guys are headed to play for a 2A state title.
And they brought quite a crowd today. They're very supportive and very energetic here this morning, and I think that's very good for the kids. The kids really feed off the energy of their fans coming out and supporting them.
And that is one of the fun things about the state tournament is you get some of these smaller schools from the smaller towns that get to come up here to Jackson. They get to bring huge fan bases that are very passionate, and a lot can be said for the basketball in Holmes County this week as both of these teams come from there. In Class 1A, Durant will be playing in the semifinals tomorrow. They won a state championship last year. There's good basketball going on in Holmes County.
Well, there's definitely great basketball going on, great athletes down there, and they're really doing a great job of being success.
And again, you can watch all of the MHSAA championships online at MISSHSAA.TV. All the semifinal actions for the first time will be broadcast live there. All the games today, tomorrow, and throughout next week. And, of course, the championship games will be online as well as MPB here in the state of Mississippi. This is all brought to you by the MHSAA Network. The free throws by Weatherall go down and extends the lead 58-44, 45 seconds left to play.
And I think Williams-Sullivan did a great job. They fought to the end. They played hard, and I think they have a bright future here in the next year or so, and we're looking to have them back down here. I look to see them back down here next year.
There's a late three by Gibson to go down, and that was one of the things is the shots just didn't fall today, and sometimes that's the case, and they just had a tough time getting buckets to go down.
Right, and it's always a learning experience, and Williams-Sullivan has the luxury of being able to get down here and get that experience this year. And like I said, I really do look forward. I feel like they'll be back. They have a great nucleus. Coach is doing a great job with them, so I think they will be back here next year.
And Coach Carter will take one more timeout here. It's an 11-point game. 27.7 remaining. Now also we want to let people know if you would like to purchase a DVD copy of any of these games broadcasts, you can go to that same website, MISSHSAA.TV. Log on and you can find out how you can purchase a DVD copy of these broadcasts. Coach Bolden, I got to ask you, I'm sure there's some other matchups you're interested in seeing this week. You have some ties to Callaway who will play coming up next week, don't you?
Yeah, that's going to be a huge matchup with Callaway and Pascagoula. Two great teams, two well-coached teams. I'm looking forward to that matchup, as well as the Wayne County and Starkville matchup. I think that
5A is loaded.
Is loaded. So it's going to be a very exciting week of basketball in the next couple of weeks. So I'm very excited about it.
It all starts with the 2A games here this morning and this afternoon. We'll get a couple of the 3A girls and boys games in tonight, and that'll carry over into tomorrow morning, and also the 1A action as well on Saturday before we go all 4A semifinals Monday, all 5A semifinals Tuesday here at the Big House, and then the last set of semifinal games will be Wednesday. That will be Class 6A. So Jackson back at the free throw line. He knocks down a couple, makes it 61-47 now with exactly 20 seconds remaining.
And for another year in Holmes County, I think SV Marshall had the bragging rights.
2-0 in the matchups with Williams-Sullivan this year. Gibson will launch another long one. That one is off and no good. Knocked out of bounds, 6 seconds remaining as this one winds down. So once again, SV Marshall will come back next Thursday and match up with the winner of Bay Springs and Baldwin in the title game. Meanwhile, great season for Coach Carter and Williams-Sullivan. But the final score, the SV Marshall Tigers win over their Holmes County rival Williams-Sullivan 61-47 here in the Class 2A boys semifinal matchup. They will move on to play for a 2A title next week. Coach Bolden, pretty all-around effort and a lot of things that Marshall has going for them.
Yeah, SV Marshall's a very great team, and it's going to be interesting to see if anybody will be able to match up with their size and their perimeter play and be able to beat SV Marshall. They're a really good team, and I look to see them win it all.
So SV Marshall with the victory today, 61-47. The Tigers are moving on to the 2A title game. For Coach Randy Bolden, I am Travis Raycheck. Wrapping things up here at the 2A semifinals. Once again, Marshall over Williams-Sullivan 61-47. Thanks for tuning in to the MHSAA High School Sports Network.